Ekale, Ekason, Eku, whatever it is all over the world. I thank you from the depth of me for joining me. I really would have loved to dance Ayefele some more. I can dance from morning till night and I won't be tired. Brother Azano Yetunji, Adebayo Isaac Kunjayo Tokpe, I hope you will sleep tonight. And what's up? Let's talk later, Han. Victoria, how you doing? I welcome you and I thank you for being here. Justina, I see you. Bola, God bless you. Nigerian Arise and Samuel for sharing this trade off. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you all so much. Christopher, that's my 200th friend on Facebook in those days of limited edition. Thank you for being here. Today is April 30, year 2017. First and foremost, let me sincerely apologize for not coming on last week. Too many people had died that week and I was kind of choked. I just was not in the mood to come out to talk. I had too many issues of this dying, that dying. My father's friend lost his son. You know, things were just rolling into each other and that was kind of too much for me to deal with. So that was why I did not do last week's episode. But Akunle Jajola, I see you and I thank you also for being here. For those who will be watching me for the first time, my name is Doyinsola Ilori. On Facebook, I go by Ajoke Adeomo Ayinde. Let me also apologize for those that I probably have misled. I had wanted to do a mother-daughter edition, but some people reached out to me and they told me that Doyinsola, I will say this in Yoruba, that Tishu Enibata, Bisola, I see you, Nigeria Arise, Luke, Agumba, Tunde Alabi, you are in US, you didn't call me. I hold it against you, oh. Just so you know. Oshupa Creative, Aburo, God bless you. Benga Onitilo, I see you too. Onyigan, Stephen Adewale, God bless you. Dari, how are you doing? Olokunye Mojara, thank you all for being here. I can't call all the names, but I know you all know that and I appreciate you sincerely for being here. But thank you also for sharing this. Like I was saying, some people just reach out to me and said, so that issue any better Omando Wobu Jenny. That is, yes, you know your situation right now. You know the things you are battling and struggling with, this issue of polygamy and so on and things like that, and this is not a time for you to want to showcase or to the world that, okay, see my daughter or see my child or see my this or that. So I mean, I can play with myself, I can throw myself out. Any Tongamali or Dele Alayo from my hometown in Alayi. Okay, from Agbewa, I see you. And Titoshi baby, how's brother Ralph doing? I didn't think that was a problem. I mean, when people, 1, 2, 3 people are saying to you, don't do that, Dokun Faja Missy. Respectfully, I welcome you to my podcast and I thank you for being here, Dokun. How are you doing? So I just thought to myself, it's something that I should not do. So for that reason, I canceled the mother-daughter. Basically, what we wanted to do was, you know, most of the kids we bring here, or most of the kids that are born abroad, they have this abroad attitude. But my daughter was going to let the African kids, African parented kids, understand that it's not as bad as maybe they think or they feel. Because I think, luckily, my kids are able to understand that it's not because I hate them or because I'm being mean and things like that. So she was just going to share experiences with me as a mother and those misconceptions that kids are refusing to want to take in vis-a-vis not understanding the African culture. But having said that, that's what that was supposed to be about. Talking about 3 years ago, today is April 30, like I said. This time 3 years ago, I just lost my grandmother, Eyayinde, and that was also the day that was my younger sister's 45th birthday. Dear Kwa is 48 today. I wish my sister, she's the only one that we're 100%. I have kids from my father and other kids from my mom's side, but it's just me and Dear Kwa. We were 4, but we lost Wale and Dakpo, the 2 boys. So it's just me and dear Ko alone now that we're 100%. And my kid sister is 48 years old this day. 3 years ago that we lost my grandmother. Now I said this, I hardly talk about my sister because we're two differing personalities. I am too worldly for her. She is a deacon in Winners Church. If she was not even attending Winners, my sister probably would have, Ashake, I see you. That's my Bingwe Adeyemi. God bless you. She probably would have been, she probably would have been a pastor if she wasn't in Winners. You know, Winners don't elevate women to that level. But because she's the best she can be is a deacon. But she's one that does not even work. She's a full-time church worker. She just does her thing. She doesn't, how do I explain it? She doesn't like go to earn a salary. But of course she does things that give her money. And she did that because she wanted to be able to completely devote time to God. Now, compare that kind of personality with me. She's my sister. We still spoke today because I actually waited till midnight because I wanted to say a happy birthday to her that early. We are that close, but at the same time not that close. We are not that close because our social life, our personalities are two different things. She wants me to become like a deacon like her, and I'm like just not wanting to be any such thing. But at the end of the day, she's my 100% full blood. Right after my children, really everybody knows the next person to me is my kid sister, not even my parents. So we are that close, even though we seem to be always fighting because she wants her sister to be as Christianly as she is, and I just don't see that being possible right now. God may arrest me tomorrow, who knows. I am sure you all have good, you're wishing my sister the very best today. Growing up, I know a lot of people know that I come from a divorced home. It's no news. And when you come from a divorced home, the tendency is that your father or your mother isn't there. In my own case, it was my mother that was not there. And because my mother was not there, and there were, of course, other women, the training, the everything is, the parental guidance is just never the same thing. Except we kind of want to delete ourselves. Once your parents are, Prebo, how you doing? And how's madam? Once your parents are not together, like, happily, even sadly at times, it kind of affects the upbringing of the children. I fought it because I didn't want it to happen to my children. I was hoping that I would be able to not let them go through the experiences of me that I went through as coming from a divorce background. Now, having said that, thank you, Richard. Thank you for wishing dear Ko that. Now, having said that, you know, I did say that usually kids like that don't have all the guidance, parental guidance that they deserve. I'm talking about parental guidance now. There's something that I hear that is going on the internet now. Please, parents, listen to this carefully. I understand that it's a whale game that they're playing on the internet. It's basically some adult or some people or somebody just taking control of the life of your children. They play this game, I understand, for 50 days. And in the 50 days that this game is being played, they just give your child a chore to do. It starts from the mundane. Drink a glass of water today. Take a walk out there. And then they begin to build it, and it begins to get really risky. Like, go out and don't let your parents know. Do this and don't do that. They just build it. And I understand that on the 50th day, they actually would just say to your child, go commit suicide or go kill a family member. Please discuss this with your children. K Wonder, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Victoria Ajuma Abawalka, I thank you for watching me. Now, please discuss this with your children. We don't want to hear stories. When these things are out there, whether they're true or not, it's something that is worthy of discussion with, especially our kids that have not formed, that are not strong enough to form opinions or to really be able, like, kind of to control themselves. Having said that, I did say that I was going to talk about adultery in matrimony. About 2 weeks ago, Folake Adedamola had put up a post on Facebook, and in the post, Folake had talked about why some women would Dr. Rafide, how's it going? How are you doing? Kwajameta. She had talked about how and why some women commit adultery in matrimony. And when she The piece was beautiful because she encompassed all the what's you how are you she encompassed all the reasoning, so to say. Brad Bengalonga, thank you for watching me. She just picked. When I read that piece, I said to myself, Falake, I'm going to discuss me and this issue on the podcast for people to understand, because you see, Falake did not justify adultery in matrimony. No, she just explained why a woman would get into it, and it would happen. Not because she set out to say, okay, I'm going to do this. Happy Sunday, Side Mommy. Or that because she's wayward, or because she's greedy, or because she's not getting enough sex from the man, or any such thing. And I said I was going to use my experience to try to explain, not justifying, why and how it is easy for a woman in matrimony to indeed get into adultery. Way back in Nigeria, I can almost say that we didn't have any problem. We didn't have any problem because my ex could go anywhere and tell me, oh, I went to Sister Mi's house, I went to a friend's place and things like that. So I did not. Okay, before I get into that, everybody also, I think you all know my background to mean that I come from a divorced home. And that is one thing that never left me. It didn't leave me because I felt that my parents did not think I was important enough to stay together. And I felt that they didn't love me enough to want to work towards staying together. And I felt completely unloved. Which is why if I meet a man that can speak to my heart, convince me he loves me, I am likely to date the man. Now fast forward to America. Like I said before, I got into that little background because the setting of that is important for me to be able to pass across or make you understand what it is I'm talking about. Because of that thought, nobody likes me. They don't like me enough. When my husband made me believe he did, I married him. I married him when it was nothing. But because he was able to convince me that I was important and loved, I took the plunge. Now, several times when we were broke and I would reach out to my sister, Jacob, my sister would say, Sister Me, your mates married doctors, lawyers, and all these big men. You chose your husband. Live with it. So I got used to living with it. Still believing he loved me. Now he lost me when we got to the US. What's the story? With him, the way I deduce it now is this. While we were in Nigeria suffering, I didn't see him for who he was. I didn't see him as the average, typical man that I now recognize men to be. I believed I was the most important thing to him in life. Anyibayetunde Adebusola, welcome. I thought I was the most important thing to him in life. I thought after me, I was like first and everything. And that really is what drove me. That's what I am. That's all I want to do. That's what I care for in the marriage. So when we now got to the US and the economics changed a bit, then I now started hearing things like, so what, I have a girlfriend. And that became a huge problem for me. In Nigeria, if I caught him, it was all of begging. No, it's not true, or it's not there. You didn't, it will wriggle out. Apologize, beg, cry. So I was convinced in my heart that I was still number one. So when we now got to the US and the economics changed, I just noticed that it now became a case of Are you going to tell me when to? You can't control me. You can't tell me not to do that. Oh, so what if I have somebody? And then I now started, and you see, with Nigeria, you can do anything and your wife may not know. But you see, in the US, we are so regimented, so to say, that it's difficult for anybody. For instance, he gets off work, I know, at 8 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, there's no hold up here now. He should be home. So if for any reason he's not coming home until 12:1 every day, thereabout, that's setting off the alarms, and it's obvious that he's somewhere. So while in the US, I now began to see those things that I never saw in Nigeria. I didn't see them in Nigeria because it could say, oh, it's the old up, or it's this or that. So he was able to get away with all of that. Remember, I said that I must always be the number one thing in my man's life. Not even his children. Shegun Bawode, how you doing? Once I am not number one, it's a problem. So when he now could look me in the face and tell me, you are not number one. And how did he tell me? Like he would just go out Valentine's Day with lipstick stains. I was now seeing evidences of other women, from checking his phones, from lipstick stains, from him staying out abnormally late, from him going to the club and coming back at 9, 10 a.m. in the morning. That was a very difficult thing for me to take in. Because the way I saw that was, if he liked me enough, even if he was carrying women, he would not let me know. That's my thinking then. Oh, I'm building something. Because I felt that if he loved me enough, if I was still number one, there is absolutely no way in this world that he would let me ever even have an inkling that he had a woman anywhere. And then when I was reading those messages in his phone, he was always swearing everlasting love to all the women. In fact, there was some that he told that he didn't have a wife. There was many that he told that he just had a baby mama. Adiola Onolaja, good to see you all. Thank you for watching me and my aburo. We are fighting, but you would always be my aburo, just so you know. I was so overwhelmed by that I became an alcoholic. Now, I became an alcoholic and I grew to finishing a bottle of brandy every day. It was that bad. Now, at the place I was drinking, because that was it, once I got back from work, I just take my brandy and I would drink and get drunk. That was the only way I could deal with him, with what he was doing. I couldn't deal with it as a normal human being. You see, this is why these days when somebody runs to me and is telling me all those things, I'm always saying to them, listen, I have been through this process. If you can just shut your eyes, find something productive to do. Go get a job, go to school, do something. I didn't have anybody say this to me. I was just freaking out at home. And I was drinking a bottle of brandy every day. Now, I had 2 boyfriends in 3 months. In 2010, 2011. I'm not going to put their names out, but I'll just say BF1, BF2. Now, I was that down, that demented, that low. 1 bottle of brandy every day. I will drink to a state of stupor. Many times, I would drink and, just lay on. To the glory of God, I don't drink and not again. I don't touch alcohol though. So it's not like I'm still an alcoholic person or anything. No. I didn't like brandy, Oludari Ogunlano. I was drinking to suppress my depression. I was drinking because I was so depressed. I didn't understand. I told you that I come from a background of a divorced home. I felt already that my parents didn't like me. That's why they divorced. Okay. And then I married somebody that I thought I was his world. That's the impression I got from us being together for the years we were in Nigeria. So much so that if I caught him at anything or I saw anything, it was quickly like, no. And then we got to the US and then things improved. And then all the evidences were no longer being kept from me. I had a problem with that. And then I grew that bad that I became alcoholic. Thank you, Han. So I became alcoholic and I was always drinking a bottle of brandy, like I said, every day. On a good day, I'll probably drink half. You know, it grew so bad at that time that many times I'll just drink and sleep on the couch or on the floor in the sitting room, and my kids would just put the blanket on me. I've always had wonderful kids. They saw through my pain, so to say. They didn't understand it, but they just knew that mommy was bad, and then they would cover me up. And ironically, I wake up the next day and go to work again, and then when I come back from work again, I'll drink, because he probably would not be home, or he's home, or he's not talking to me. It was just, it was just so, I think my ex did not have the kind of background most of you men have. He was not exposed to women because of his background. So with me, having married me, things changed. When we got to the US, like I said, the economics now also changed. So there was no hiding anything again. So not hiding now became an issue for me. Became a big deal. It was so tough, I couldn't deal with it. So I became an alcoholic, like I said. Now, here I was on Facebook. I was just always dropping my things. It was in the days of Let's Talk About It. My Aburo and sister, and I was just very strong on Let's Talk About It. I was just always dropping comments, sincere, heart to heart, whatever. I never was fake from day one on Facebook. So this guy, BF1, I call him BF1. He just latched onto me, and we would exchange, we would chat, we would talk, we would do this. I did not know that he also had his own issues. He was divorced then. So we chatted a whole lot, because of course my husband would have gone out, and I knew he would not come back on time and things like that. So we were always chatting on Facebook. So, and then after a while we started talking. All of that time, he didn't see anything. So one day, ironically, you see, what happens is, once I got back from work, I start drinking. But of course, I don't get drunk immediately. I don't get drunk, thank you, Oshukpa. I don't get drunk immediately. Henry, I see you. So the getting drunk is a progression. It's something that's going to happen later when I'll crack. So by the time we are talking, I'm drinking quite all right. He does not know, but I'm not drunk. So this particular day, I think there was a problem with my ex. Olorun, what's up? Gidifani, thank you for being here. So that day, I drank earlier, and I got drunk earlier, and I crashed. Now this, my BF1, that was so used to coming from work and chatting with me for hours and just talking and telling me what he did, now he said all the hellos, everything. I did not answer him. I was drunk, I was sleeping, I'd crashed. So he got frantic and started calling me. He didn't sleep. From night, he called me practically all night. And then in the morning when I woke and I saw the calls, immediately I picked the call, he just started screaming, "Why do you want to kill me? I want to..." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I got drunk and I slept off." He said, "Why did you get drunk?" And I said, "Oh, I get drunk to sink my sorrow." You see, all of that time he was telling me his problems. I never said a bad word about my husband or my marriage. I never, ever, ever. But I was listening to him and I was advising him. That was the first time that I knew men do cry if they were looking for love or they were lacking in love. That guy was always crying on my neck. He wasn't crying that I should date him or that he loved me. No, I was just a listening ear to him. So that day that I said I got drunk and then we got talking the next day, he now told me, "Donya, I can't do without you." By then, I was used to him, but that was the day he just said, "I can't imagine life without you." And that was how we started a relationship. That was my first affair. It wasn't like he ever from day one said, "No, I must marry you, I must date you, I love you." No, he was just telling me his problems and I was advising him like I advise people naturally. But the day I now crashed, and you see, if I didn't crash that day, we probably would just still have been friends, just always talking. Because he did not tell me anything. He didn't tell me he was in love with me. He didn't say nothing. But it was the day he could not get to talk to me at our usual time that he now had a problem. And when he now had that problem, you could share this place because people would benefit from what I'm talking about. And this is really for the men to understand why their wives will probably go into adultery in their homes. It is not every woman that set out from day one and said, oh, let's he's not sleeping well with me. No, all of that was not my problem. I have repeatedly said it to the whole world. My husband can never ever say that I ever fought him because of money, no. Or I ever fought him because of sex, no. It was always usually his family and women. Please share this message. I am sure people will benefit from it. This is me speaking and bearing out myself, my life, so that somebody can benefit from it. Maybe if I had somebody say this at that time, maybe I would learn from it. But I have decided and have sworn that everything I can teach the world, everything I can use my experiences to teach, I would use it. This will be my contribution to humanity. Now, the day I said I crashed, the next morning when I spoke to when I spoke to BF1, my husband was there. And he said, who's that person that has been trying to... I said, it's just my friend, just a friend. So, after who was, let me say husband, just to make it easy for you to comprehend. So, after I wasn't in husband's company again, and I got him and I said, what was all that drama about? That was when he now started telling me how much he loved me. How much he had actually fallen in love with me. How much this and that and that and that. Now, here I have a husband that, I will see the trace of a woman. And I was already demented. I was drinking. And then BF1 was not even in the States, it was in Nigeria. And BF1 made me his item. He's waking up in the morning and the first thing he's talking to. He's telling me his plans for the day. He's telling me where he's eating lunch. He's telling me what he's doing. He had my pictures all over his office. If I was begging him that time, please, Makubami, I cannot help it. I was his skinny on his desktop. I was his everything on his phone. He had a ringtone for me. All of that. Now, BF1 had a girlfriend though. It wasn't like he had a steady girlfriend, but he just was not in love with her. He fell in love with me. He fell flat on his face. And many times I sit back and I wonder if anybody ever loved me as much as BF1 did. He loved me. He loved me with a passion. He loved me so much that he was begging me to leave my husband there. I'm talking about 2011. This is 6-7 years ago. Now, the affair was on the internet. It wasn't, share this message. People will benefit. Invite people to come and watch. Invite men that are struggling with their wife, having had an affair and so on, to come and listen. It may sound stupid, but I'm going somewhere today. We were doing all this online thing. It was online, but it was just as so passionate as any other thing. I tell people that I've had affairs and they say, no, it's not an affair now, it's an online. I said, you don't understand. I understand the emotions that was involved. It was extremely emotional for me and him. He's married now. I can stand before God to say that he can't love his wife as much as he loved me. I know it. Even though I tell him every time, shut up, you never loved me, you're lying. I just say it to make him feel bad. But I know that BF1, I was his life. I don't know why or how. He just said that the way I spoke. You see, I had my own problems, but I never discussed them with him. I never told him anything. I was just always sorting him out. And he said as soon as he got from, in fact, it was not, even all the Sariwagba ones that he had, because he had a girlfriend abroad then, that they were thinking they would marry. Remember I said he's divorced. So all the Sariwagba ones in Nigeria were even wondering, where is this man? What is going on? He just was no longer interested in them. It was me and him from when he got back from work until he had to sleep. He was besotted. Besotted. He begged me. He told me, Doinsola, I would wash your underwears. And I would just laugh. It was that all into it. Now, Kay found out. So when my husband found out, and yeah, we talked about it, we went back and forth, you know, and he asked me why I did it, and I explained to him I did it because I didn't feel loved. Gentlemen, I didn't do this for money. I didn't do this for lace. I didn't do this because I was lacking. I didn't do it because I wasn't being slept with. I mean, he would sleep with me whenever he felt he had the urge. I did it because I did not. I told him, I said, I was no longer your number one. I did not feel loved. I can't live without love with a husband. I can live without love now because I know where I'm at with everybody and anybody. But you see, in matrimony, I cannot. Any man that wants to convince me that he wants to marry me has to convince me that I'm too important in his life. If you can't convince me like that, if you can't convince me and let me know and let me feel and let me sincerely believe that I'm important to you, there's no money you may have. There's no material thing. There's no how much sex you're giving me that would make it stick. Remember I said that my background was what I considered loveless. When you I grew up with 3 stepmothers. Now listen, my own polygamous situation was not the norm of 2-3 mothers being home at the same time. No, it was one after the other, one after the other. So when you have grown up with 3 women, I can tell you that the 3 women, don't forget it, they can never like you like they like their children. So it's like you're being battered here and there. 3 different women. When your dad is there, they may be nice to you, but when your dad isn't there, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. So I had that problem, I had that challenge of not feeling loved. So when a husband was able to convince me that I was his world, it was okay for me. I was even in poverty. I mean, I have come here to talk about me having to collect 200, 500 naira from his cousin at Celeb bus stop. The guy is Agbero. Even in abject poverty. I mean, now you all listen. We married in 2000, and I had my first boyfriend in 2000, late 2010. All of 10 years of abject. In fact, there were times I've come here to say it. I didn't lie. I didn't brag about it. I didn't say I was anything. We may not even be able to eat on lie. I would go to Celeb bus stop to use style to corner Ayo. I did a whole show explaining that I'm talking about it, and that is whatever Ayo gave me. It was whatever Ayo gave me that I would use to feed for a few days at that time. I didn't brag about it. I talked about it just to appreciate Ayo and the people that really helped me while things were rough. So if I did not have a boyfriend at the time that things were rough, if I did not have a boyfriend when current women, because most of the women, I know many women that you will hear that they're paying the rent, they're paying for the food, they're paying. No, I didn't prostitute, if you want to use that word. I didn't do that to me to feed family or anything. No, rather, I would go to his cousin that would give me small money. And then you see, okay, like when I married my husband, I had the house. He came to my house to live with me. I had a 2-bedroom bungalow in Magodo. He came to live with me because he didn't have a house. Okay? From that place, from a 2-bedroom, we downsized to a 1-bedroom. I did not prostitute to pay rent. I could have. I didn't do it. Now, from that 1-bedroom mini flat that we call mini flat in Nigeria, we found we had to leave the whole of Lagos to go to Ijebu because we couldn't even pay that. Now, again, I repeat, I could have had boyfriends. I could have gone out with men. In fact, if I had friends, any friend that I said, please, I need help. We don't have money. That's why I said up till tomorrow, Gori Ola Disamudashiwu would be my person. Because Gori helped us a whole lot at that time. I would go to Gori and it would help. But you see, I could have gone out and said, I can't deal with this suffering. Boyfriend and so on, to feed, to pay rent. I didn't do it. I would downsize. And then we went to Ijebu. We went to a room and parlor in Ijebu. And then from Ijebu, that was when my sister, Jia Kolola, she fasted. The Jia that I said is doing her birthday today, that turned 48 today. Jia told me she fasted for 1 month, begging God to turn her sister's life around. Because I would call her and say, crying, and this is the situation. We were then, somehow, I mean, I got a job, At that time, me and the children were in Ijebu. Kay was in Lagos, sleeping with friends. So, after a while, I also got a job. We did 1 year in Ijebu, room and parlor. Then we got a job, and then we all moved to one room in Cape. It's not actually a room. I have talked about this also several times. It is a shop that was converted to a room that we lived in for 1 year. That room or shop always had rats because, you know, there are holes here and there. There was a day that I even had to sweep. A rat had the babies that day, and I had to sweep like 8 babies out. Just that rat was so motherly that day. The rat refused to you know, leave the babies. Anyway, what I am saying here is that the point I'm trying to make with all of that is not for anybody to feel sorry for me. No. It's just to lay the background that when things were rough. Okay, when things were rough, when things were rough, I did not do it. Now look at when we now got to the US, that life was now easy on us. Thank you, Olokunyemoja. When we got to the US, and I was like thinking, Oluwa ti ṣe o, Ọlọ́run mo dúpẹ́ o, Ọlọ́run ká tiẹ̀ kúrò nínú ìṣẹ́ o. But you see, that was the time now that he now saw his own family and girlfriends as the biggest of deal because of a shako. You know, he had suffered growing up. So that was his own time to now come up and say, yes, yes, I'm at that level. Now I'm doing good. Yes. And I was like, let us consolidate. What is your own to shako with anybody? My own was not shako. The suffering, my own prayer was just for us to grow. I wanted us to grow. I wanted us to be big. I wanted us to be rich. So we were combining everything. If he says he's going on with 5 cars, fine. Because my own thought was that if he sold 5 cars, and then with whatever his profit or anything, he's able to do 6 cars, and then from 6 cars he goes and he sells that and profit and everything, and then, you know, we would grow and we would be rich. That was what I was thinking. I was not interested in his own family, because as far as I'm concerned, before we came to the US, maybe they all had the way they were doing and living. Why should they all suddenly now think that because we're in the US, we should now not grow? Which was my problem. We should now not grow so that they can be more comfortable. No, I had issues with that. I'll talk about in-laws one day. I don't like them, they don't like me. Because I want, you see, I have so suffered. I'm a professor in me now. Because I bro me control jati moje. Emi ni mo re tí ó ṣe tí ó kàwé tí ó ṣe tí mo lọ fẹ́ tí mo ní kò matter. He would make it. I was ready to stay for him to make it. And then the moment we were now okay, we now started all of that. And I became a drunkard. That was when I had BF1. And then when he found out, I sat him down. We discussed. Why did you do it? Why? And I said, you don't love me. I can't deal without Emi Oleshe. I can't be in matrimony. I can't be in marriage. I can't be in situation that I don't know how people these days do it. You have a husband, you have 3, 4 boyfriends, you don't care. And your husband will still come and you still peck him because, of course, I can't do it. I wanted a husband for a husband. I wanted love, marriage for real love. And then when he let all of that erode, because you see, that really is the crux of how the marriage went downhill. He found out. Now, let me tell you what BF1 did. Remember I said that the day I was drunk and I slept earlier and we couldn't converse was the day that we actually kind of started the affair. He now begged me not to drink again. He now made me not to drink again. He so loved me that I didn't need to drink again. That's where I'm going. That guy was so much in love with me that I did not need to drink again. I was okay. I was so enveloped in his love that I didn't need to drink. I was so happy with him. He was in Nigeria, I was in the US. But he knew more about me. We talked more. We were together more than even the husband that was in his house. When my husband found out, it became a big deal. My father got involved. Everybody got involved. And we got talking and I explained to him, this guy loves me. I did it because he loved me. It's all about love. And he begged and he agreed. You know, I also apologized and everything. And I said to him, I said, if you ever, listen good everybody, if you're ever going to take me back to that level, the level whereby I would know you have a girlfriend, I will see, you see, he said I was prying. I said, well, I would pry as a wife. Don't let me see. The way I say it is this: why should you leave messages in your phone? I told my husband, why should you lock your phone if you say you're my husband? Why should you lock your phone in my house? I won't lock my phone, so why should you lock your phone? I wanted him to let the other women know. You see, what I was trying to let him understand was simple. Whoever he was dating, mo fi ìyọ́nú Olúwa bẹ́ẹ̀, mo máa délé mi láago mẹ́sàn-án, má pè mí tó bá pè mí mi ò fẹ́ mọ́. So even if he dropped his phone, he is assured that nobody, no girlfriend, láyà máa kó tó máa pè. Because ó ti jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé ìyàwó òun important. There was a message and I told him, if you let these ladies know, whoever you're dating, know that, look, I don't play with my wife. I am not joking with my wife. Do not call me at 9:01. Do not call me. In fact, 9 on the dot, don't call me again because I may be home. Even if I'm not home, let me be the one to call you. Don't call me. If he made that effort, which interpreted to me that I am so important, that he told whoever, don't try it, we wouldn't have fought. Because my thing was, you can't lock your phone. If you lock your phone, that means you're still doing something. And if you're still doing something, that means you still don't love me enough to be doing something. I don't want to know what you're doing because you are cleaning your house so well. You have to learn to clean your house so well that even if I search, I won't see. I told him, I said, you can't tell me not to look at your phone. You have to be the one to have. Even there are people that their wives will swear by and they have children outside. It's because they cleaned up well now. If they didn't clean up well, every time the wife looked, even without looking, they will see. And that was, and I told him, I said, listen, Kay, if you ever, because I wasn't drinking then again. And then we made efforts, you know, we came back, we were doing husband and wife, we tried. I have omitted a lot of things that happened, you know. Him also dated this and that and so on, you know. But we just agreed and said, okay, we're both sorry. Let's come back together. Don't forget that I said that this guy loved me. Like. But I told Kay something. I said, I'm not going back to alcohol again. I said I discovered that love actually helped me to cope with your adulterous and ways. Somebody loving me, an affair, saved me from depression. I was so happy that I wasn't drinking again. I was just happy with my boyfriend. I was super happy with him. I loved him. I just could not leave my marriage for him, bad as it looked then. And this guy, I will tell you, waited for me for 3 years. My father, Professor Ayinde, had to go to his office to prostrate to this man to leave me alone. He did not. That was when he let go. 3 years after that, Kay found out. He will still send me messages. He will still tell me, "Don't you, I'm waiting. Don't you, I'm waiting." Because really, along the line at that time that we got very, very close, I told him, I said, I'm going to give my husband 2 years. If I don't see any improvement in his appreciation of me, I'll walk out of the marriage because I really don't like the marriage that I'm in. And he said, okay, I'll give you 3 years. And this guy waited for me for 3 years. It was after 3 years. You know, I told you that my father had to go to my boyfriend to tell him, please leave my daughter alone. She's trying to build back her home. Let her be able to do it. Still, he did. It wasn't like, he promised my father he wasn't going to get in touch with me, but once in a while we'll just send messages and things like that. And it was the 3rd year that he finally moved on. He waited for me for 3 years. Now, I said I had 2 boyfriends in 3 months. You know, I said after he found out about BF1, I told him I wasn't going to drink again because of you. Because me, I found out that if you fall in love and you have an affair, it actually just takes away all the pain. Now, why do you think most women do these things, man? It is not me. I told my pastor when Kay himself in 2016, January 1st, Winners pastor in his church, in his office, he said, I should pray to God to bring my husband back. I said, I'm not going to do that, sir. My husband has gone to marry somebody else, impregnated somebody else. He cannot be sleeping with somebody and be enjoying life. I will be fasting and I'll be losing weight. Sir, let me also go and find a man. If we both work out like this, if it is 5 or 10 years time and we have both suffered here, I have suffered here, I will say, you know what, we made a mistake, let's come back. We'll come back. But that me, Donisola, will be fasting and praying and saying, God, didn't God see when he went away? Me, I can't do it all. There is God, I know. But me, I just couldn't do that. So I told Kay, when he found out about BF1, I said, I will never cry again. Listen, Gudo, I told him, if he's watching me, if anybody, I know he watches me at times. I said, if I ever, all that nonsense you did and I was drinking, well, light a lie, and affair settled it. Because I was very happy, I was loved in my affair. I didn't have an affair for money, for house, for lace, for kebe. No, I had an affair. It took me out of depression and my alcoholic situation. So when people are talking and I say, any woman that she can come like that, I'll just be looking at them and be shaking my head. Like, look at these people talking. Oh my shoe. Hey, what be me? I didn't have an affair because I was hungry. Oh no, I wasn't hungry. I didn't have an affair because I wasn't being slept with. Occasionally he will come now, he will still sleep with me. I had an affair because I was depressed. I wasn't loved. I was emotionally down. And that was even a time that he was always very quick to say, who will marry you? Who will see you? You are not. All the people that think I'm strong, I'm this and that, you should have known me when Kazim dealt with me. Even when I'm talking now and I'm cursing him, you're like, you should have known when that guy, when that illiterate dealt with me. I was nothing. I would look at myself and say, then your moment at Taluma and me, then I'll take the shit again. Then I started drinking. My boyfriend, BF1, pulled me up and said, I have never seen a more powerful woman as you. I have never met a stronger woman as you. I have never met a more intelligent woman. My husband, the illiterate crushed me. I was nothing. This is somebody that I developed. But he made me feel so belittled. It made me, mistake. If you do it, who will marry you after 3? Even now, I know men that want to marry me at 52 with 3 kids. Now imagine somebody saying that to you repeatedly. At a point I felt that I was nothing. Nothing. I didn't see me. I didn't see the intelligent doing. I didn't see the brave doing. I didn't know. I was just always wondering, better let me shut up. Better let me keep quiet. Why? Because that was how he had. My BF1 pulled me up. Now, when BF1 pulled me up, I told him, like I said, if you do all that straying to my face again, I have found out that having an affair helps depression. Well, light a lie, I will be the one to be begging you to leave the house. BF2, I toasted myself when husband started. When my husband started again, 3 months, he started again. Because, okay, yes, we had relaxed. I would put phone down. I didn't have anything going on again. Hetty, how you doing? And then he started messing up again. Remember my words to him. If you do it again, Doyinsola is not going to cry. Doyinsola is not going to drink again. I am going to go and have an affair. BF2, I toasted him. He didn't toast me. We were just friends, like I was with BF1. So when my husband started misbehaving again, going out anyhow, doing all this nonsense, I said, look at this one. Now that I found a solution to depression, we're back. One day, I just, imagine, 12 midnight, he carried key, he's going out. I just got on the phone and called BF2, the person that became BF2. It was 6 a.m. in Nigeria, my own 12 midnight. I just got to the front of my house. Oh, sorry, I woke you up, because we were that close. We were already talking, we were gisting, we were close, we were just friends. So I said, you see, at that time, really, I was not emotionally attached to him. But I was emotionally attached like I would be to a brother. So immediately, that day, my husband just took his keys at 12. He got a call. I have warned you that if you do all this nonsense to my face again, God sees my heart. I'm not drinking, and I'm not crying. I said, God, now those days, I am going to have another BF. So he took the phone at 12. He took a call at 12 o'clock, took his keys and said he was going. I said, where did I send him? I said, hey, where did I send you at 12 midnight? Really? As soon as he walked out, I went to the front of the house. You know, me and this my BF2 that became BF2. Well, already paddy, a man sort gone. So I got on the phone. And then we just said, from that about 12, the phone will cut. He will call back. I will call back, and we were gisting for about 2-3 hours. We were just gisting. I just said, I'm bored, Jare. This guy went out, and I didn't know what to do with myself, and I don't want to begin to think, so I thought to call you. Sure, Mike said, well, you woke me up, but it's okay. It's Saturday morning. We can gist. I'm not going to work. And we gisted for hours. That day, as we were gisting, you know, when the devil, because they will say it's the devil that hooked me. When the devil wants to hook you, my heart was just melting. I didn't feel any pain. I didn't feel any pang. I didn't feel nothing. That my husband just walked out. We're going to go past 1 hour today. I hope you guys don't mind because of your data and so on. Because I want to finish this today. And I see that we're almost done 1 hour. Let me know if you want me to stop at 1 hour, if you want me to continue. Anyway, after about 2.5 hours of talking, I said, I wanted to ask a favor from the guy that became BF2. He said, what is it? I cut off the phone. How do you toast a man? I've never done this in my life. He called me back. He said, what? And then you see, that day he told me, he said, Joinsola, as long as I live. I said, promise me you will say yes. He said, Joinsola, as long as I live, anything you want, anything, emphatically, we were very close too. Let me know. Okay? This don't talk took me about another 30 minutes. I couldn't. I mean, how do you toast a man? Me, Sherry, be toasting your re. I will drop the phone. He will call me back. Yeah, we'll drop the phone. Then after a while, I just said, well, I think I've fallen in love with you. And sincerely, that night, I knew I was in love with him. And he said, you, Oyanu Sonny. I don't know how to say that in English. That is, he said, Joinsola, I've gotten so used to you too. I knew I felt something for you a long time ago, but because you were a married woman, I couldn't bring myself to say it. I probably would have ended up saying it maybe years after, or sometimes, but definitely not now. So you saying it just helped my situation, and that was how BF2 started. We were in love. In fact, if my husband didn't want to go out, I would be thinking in my head, sure, Jadeni. Because when you look at women and you'll be saying, you can look at me and say, why should you have a husband? Why should you have a boyfriend? Because your husband went out. Do you think it is easy? If I have any boyfriend on the face of the earth or any man on the face of the earth that has another woman somewhere and I do not care, I don't love him. If any woman says she loves you, knowing with all the signs and everything that yes, there's another woman somewhere, you are rich, spending your money, go and quote me anywhere. We are so possessive that, but you see, because the culture and all the ways you all have dealt with us, we now have conditioned our silly hearts to accept what we really do not like. We hate it. If you say Yale and Yahweh that they are doing kurukuru, it is a lie. The day you will know it is a lie. Tell them that they need to sacrifice one child. All of them will disappear with their children. That is where you will know that, okay, all the love they are doing, so you cannot leave your own children for me to enjoy. That is the day you will know. We hate it with a passion. We want to be the most important thing in your lives. But because Nigerian men, they are so used to that baba me fair 1 million, yeah, baba me fair 10,000, kinikon. So even now I say to be better accept him like that. You better take it like that. You better don't argue. It's one of those things. Because we have been forced, conditioned to just marry. Many women don't have jobs. Do you think I'll be able to do all this grab I've been doing if I was in Nigeria? If I can't afford to keep the children, if I can't afford, I can do all of this because one, I'm in America and I'm trying my best, and it has to pay child support anyway. So many people are so kilo yiboy or apologies to non-Yoruba speaking viewers. Many people have been so like, they're boxed into a corner, and then they just accept you and all your mess. But I am telling you today, gentlemen, that the woman that even says, look, pack condom and go, she's just psychologically dealing with herself. If she says pack condom and go, and she's really, 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 really means it, she does not really, really, really love you. She does not. She's just accepting you and accepting it like, yeah, the financially handicapped ones. They don't have a choice. Especially those ones that if the one that is financially handicapped, that is living in Ikoyo or Lekki or something, and then wants to now, she does not want to leave that environment now. Who wants to leave Victoria Island and Lekki and now to go to Okokomaiko? So she will shut up. But you see, when she shuts up, be rest assured that you are not number one in her life again. So I got into BF2. Look at the circumstances that I got into my affairs. If they say people, an adulterer if you make a list of adulterers, I will make the list now. Maybe I had boyfriend in Ilioko. But look at myself. I'm not excusing it. I don't excuse anything. I live with the consequences of everything I do in my life. But I am letting men, I'm talking to men especially today, that you can push your wives to do some things. You see, the only way I didn't feel him at his mess was me do my mess. And my mess was so exhilarating, was so emotionally fulfilling. I mean, when a man makes you his world, BF2 was married, was not even like divorced like BF1. But I know what we ran by each other. In terms of money, in terms of plans, in terms of everything. He truly liked me as much as he can like any human being. I think I was the one that was crazy about him. But he truly just liked me enough like he would like any other human being. So those were the reasons. It wasn't because I was suffering in terms of material things. In fact, I had my own boyfriend, my own affairs, at the time that we were supposed to be comfortable and not suffering again. I have told you the story of when I had to go to Sele, or when Julie, the girl that is doing telephone, that has umbrella over her head, will call me and say, Mommy, but we work by 1,000, 2,000. I didn't have boyfriends at that time. In fact, there was a time around that time that I almost did. I traveled to Ife. My father was giving us 10,000 naira every month at that time. So coming back from the trip, I sat beside a man, and the man started toasting me, and I was thinking in my head, I begin to say, Baba, I said, the man, you know what, dear. So we shared one cell phone then. We didn't have two, me and my husband. So I gave the man the telephone number, thinking like phone Kazim. And of course he knows I'm a married woman. So my thoughts were that wrong number. And he said okay. Unfortunately, when he now called, I was one that had the phone, but I couldn't speak in front of Kazim. So I now used out to go to the back of the house. I didn't know Kazim was following me. So of course he had the conversation. And he said, Doing, my suffering put manually. Then I just started crying. I said, we don't have it. I met the guy in the car. I explained everything. He said, please don't do it. I will struggle. I said, okay. But the Kawako, God is my witness. I said, block the man's number. That was it. That was even my attempt at poverty time. So the 2 times it happened were those times. I can't be anything but open. I want somebody to learn. I want the men to understand. In poverty, abject poverty, I didn't do it. But when we were comfortable, I did it. So, if you think, because, you see, if he did not throw it in my face, if he did not become, who are you? If he didn't get to that level with me, I know people that till tomorrow, they are rich now, their wives will swear by them, but nothing is happening. That's why I see you, Jari Pajimi. Nothing is happening, but something is happening. They have so elevated that woman that no girlfriend would dare it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in August. So if he was one of those people, because my father had even talked to me, and my father had told me that, look, every man must shade on solar or must shade by. And I said, okay, once he does not let me know, you see, once he tells me so what attitude, is like, okay, it's because you don't like me again. I'm not number one. You don't care, and that's the problem. If he did it, I was still like, okay, I'm sorry. Or he did it, I was like, don't call me. But you see, he cannot do that with the Akatas here, because once the average Akata knows you have a wife, they don't want to have anything to do with you. So he has to them to give them the impression that he's single. If anybody has a problem with me, even me saying I slept with anybody, I don't care. Don't worry, don't upset yourself. I'm the one that I'm throwing my story out. If you say I'm sleeping every day, how's that your business? Is it your thing? Is it not my thing? What does the thing chop if it's not that thing? So don't let that care. Kinin now. So if I even do it, so what? If you're in an affair, yes, you're expected to sleep with the person, and that's not even what I'm saying. I'm talking about men that were in Nigeria, and here I am in America. So if anybody is even talking rubbish about that, salalawon. Why a bottle of brandy every day? Was it not me? Was it not me that was going to die? Was it you that you are talking nonsense that we were going to die? I beg. I don't know what was said, but I just saw the defense that Donya had put up for me. So don't even bother your me money now. You know me now. I don't care. I don't give a hoot. So, I mean, for me, it was more of like they straightened me out. All of what my husband would say, I was nothing, I was nobody, will see you after 3 babies. I now say, me. So my everything came back. Does anybody know what it means to be so depressed that you drink a bottle of brandy every day to sleep? If anybody is talking crap, go here, bother me. I'm not, even when you comment, I'm not your people that say blog, cut off. That in you doing that, you're listening and you're learning. Leave the man now. Let him. I don't even know. I'll go and look at it later because I can't even see what's your. Okay, Bude Dele. I'll go and look at the person later. That could be my ex because I know he watches me somehow. It could be my ex or some of his own people that they're trying to. But don't disturb yourselves, people. Just concentrate and listen to me. So my point is that if you kini so the point I'm trying to make is it's so easier than you think for a woman to get into a relationship without planning it. Like I said, if they're going to make a list or do an clinic of adulterers, have a, what do you call it? An adulterers offenders, sex offenders list or something. If you want to do Ibuti, I don't care what you can be or whatever. It's none of my business now. Just face your woman and deal with that. This is me, and the people I'm speaking to understand. I won't even block you because I want you to also say your mind and you know. You see, when you speak with a. When people like you speak with a lot of no experience, no what's the word? You're just not speaking like a human being. I'm sorry to say that. What depression? What would you have your daughter drink a bottle of? Don't let me even waste my time with you. That is distraction. So it is very possible, gentlemen. You have to study your woman. Now let's tell you one mistake I made in my 52 years of existence on earth. When BF1 begged me to leave him because he loved me, I regret not leaving my husband. I regret it. That is my number one mistake, regret. Yes, that's why I said, let me just pack him. Let me just leave him. That's my only regret in life. It's regret because Now, I have neglected him. Everybody, please, let's move on. The marriage crashed. Now, I would have been with a man that worshipped me. He only said one thing to me. He said, please don't cheat on me. And I told him the same thing. I said, do not do what X said. I said, okay, as long as I don't do that. I said, as long as you don't do it, I'm good. No, honestly, I just found that the affair just changed me completely. Completely. That's why when I'm looking at people, my own affair, you cannot compare me with the people that they are sleeping all over the place because of money now. You cannot say, okay, oh, this Doyin is Ashewo because, yes, she's, why am I breaking? I shouldn't break. Or you all check your, what's it called? You cannot compare me with people that, you know, they are, it's because they want to buy clothes or because they want, no. You cannot even compare me with the people that have 1, 2, 3 boyfriends in. No, you can't, there's no basis for comparison. We're not talking the same thing here. They're not depressed, they are okay. They have conditioned their minds to not completely loving their husband, because if no woman should come and tell me I am still desperately completely in love with my husband and I have a boyfriend, I will tell you you are a liar. Because if you are that sold into your husband, you won't see any other man. I like men who make me not see other men. The 2 BFs I was talking about, I didn't see any other person. If I have a BF now, I don't see any other person. Because for me, it's like, if you are so much into someone, you won't even see any other person. You are not distracted by anything because you are into that person. That's the way I see that. And that's the way I was dealing with it. So if you cannot come and say, you are right. Because I was not in any way, we're not even talking the same thing. We're not talking the same thing. So it's a whole, but that's, I just wanted to I wanted men to understand that your wife can get into an affair in your home, in matrimony, because you caused it. Have I excused it? No. No. If my husband did not pick his keys and did not let me know that he was also out there again and things like that, I wouldn't even have ever talked to BF2 and say, come date me. Because as he was behaving, I was just getting myself attached to this other person. So it's not like, okay, you need to understand some of these reasons. And the one I have talked about today is deliberate, because it's really, truly, sincerely I did it or did them. But the other people are doing it. It wasn't monetary for me, because if you look at the progression of how we descended from me being in my own house up until going to live in a shop with 3 kids, you would understand it wasn't because I was looking for money to do anything. I was ready. I was sinking. I was ready to sink as low as we could sink. I didn't want to get anybody to feed. Rather, I would go to Ayo, the Agbero cousin of my husband, and I know he will give me 200, 500, or 1,000. But either for me. It depends on how much money he has made while he's on tarmac. Or I will go to Julie, the girl that does phone call, let believe me, and I'll be crying, and Julie will loan me money and things like that. Or if it was really, really bad, I'll go to Gori, my friend, Gori Mudashiru. I didn't think to sleep with any man. I did. Okay, maybe don't let me say I didn't think. You know that one that I said I almost did, and he said don't do it. And I said okay, fine, I won't. And I honestly I didn't, and I never. All of suffering time that I was doing sweet pepper. You know when you do it, my kids calls Esha pepper, sweet pepper. I have told the story of how we go, because if I wanted to buy the solid ones, what they want you. So the Esha ton shasilet on bajo. That's the one I would now pack. And now go and fry fried pepper to either yam or rice. I didn't do it then. I did it when I could afford to buy a bottle of brandy every day. You know, Erona. Why? Because I felt that I wasn't getting what I was supposed to get. I'm not excusing adultery. I am only saying that. I'm only explaining to men. I'm letting them know that it can actually happen. Is your wife crying out to you now emotionally? Is your wife someone that is like me? Is your wife so much into you for love and is like, look, is your wife someone like me, very emotional, very, very, very emotionally demanding? I'm extremely demanding emotionally. Because and then if your wife is that kind of person, but because she's blocking all your moves, you are building step to breaking your home. If your wife is emotionally demanding, you're not giving it because you know that if you give it, that would force you to put your phone down. I've said it before. I said, why can't them? You see, if you put your phones down without locks, you may have a girlfriend, but you have so won that girl. And the women will try you. That's why girls are funny. They also want to flex muscle. They're trying. Tó bá pè ẹ́ ní 601 mo fi gbogbo nǹkan tó ju ẹ́ lójú nílé ayé ẹ̀bẹ̀ má fẹ́ mọ́. Tó bá ti ṣe fún èèyàn bíi méjì mẹ́ta wọ́n máa sọ fún àwọn wọ́n máa pè lo ṣe 601 o bó ṣe wúlò tó ń fún mi pocket money tó bá ti pè 601 yẹn ni wàhálà máa ṣẹlẹ̀. They would know it's your logo and they would never do it, and you would have your peace with your wife in your house. You have to study your wife. You have to study your women. It's not all the women out there that they want to do ashewo. At least I didn't want to do ashewo. If I can be with a boyfriend that even be with many men, you should tell somebody that it's not something that is just in me. Do I regret that my marriage packed up? No, I don't. Because I still believe that my husband never really genuinely, truly loved me. He only used me to climb and become whatever in life. He takes and says to everybody, he won the lottery. He's forgetting that my sister fasted for 1 month. And my sister played the lottery. Yes, he won it in his name. But my own sister, Dia Kolola, played that lotto. Not his family. My own family played it. Not only that, all to the US. This man and his family contributed 20,000. So when he forgets things like that, it's so shocking to me. Because I would think that we so suffer that nobody will forget that. It's past, it's gone. We are divorced. I'm sure in a week or two we'll find divorce will be through and I'll be completely free. I'm not free for anybody to come and toast me or Joe. I'm not saying free like that. But it is well, it is good. I have only done this today so that men can understand that it is possible for your women to misbehave if the indices to misbehave. What kind of person is your wife? If you see Asho anything that your wife is not supposed to have, I just don't want to mention my friends. I can't afford to buy anything. It was my friends that were giving me things. My friends, the ones I call friends now, my sisters, my friends. I don't know cash for me now. Me or me, I have nothing. Go and sit down. Who will you toast? You that I told you to show me video, you can't toast. You know? So you should understand the wife. Understand who your wife is. Somebody was talking to me just now, and he said, this man has 2 kids from 2 different women outside. But the wife swears by him. The wife swears by him because the man knows that the wife will die and probably kill him that day if she ever finds out that this man has somebody elsewhere. Because the wife is that emotionally attached. Understand your wife. Your wife cannot be someone that is all out affairs in her face. When you throw an affair or affairs in her face, you are telling her that so I'm always admitting say men can love, but you see, they will still do. The woman is not. She may accept it. She may not like it now. My boyfriend can have girlfriend now. Look for me. I'll just be looking, but I know in my heart that that's not 100% love I have for him. Because me, I can't love anybody in my life that has any woman anywhere. That's all it is about today. I hope the men would understand what I am talking about. I hope the men will see beyond a woman that is misbehaving. I hope the men will see beyond the woman. Because, for instance, why should Kazim be sleeping with Karimo? And you are telling me to be going to Orioke and be fasting? Me, I can't do that. Thank you, Oshupa. títí ó bá ti bá ti ẹ̀jẹ̀ tán tí ò rí ibi sá sí mọ́ bóyá tójú èmi náà bá ti já níbi tí mo bá wà maybe we'll come back but lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí o kó káàbù tẹ̀ ṣeré orí ẹ̀ lọ́nà kájọ lọ gbádùn èmi ò lè máa sọ́fà o kọkùnrin kan máa jayé láyé. I can't do that. So having said that, I hope I have impacted lives today. I hope I have been able to explain to the men the reason why some woman, your woman that you would never think. My husband, I remember the day he found out that I had BF1. He was with his friends and he said that they were like gisting, and he said, I can swear my wife does not. The girlfriend of BF1 that sent the message to my husband that your wife is dating my boyfriend. And he said he looked at the message and he told everybody, I said, hey, Bami, look at what I just saw. He was just bragging because I didn't do it in body. I didn't do it in abject poverty. I didn't want to do it until I was depressed, until I was emotionally down. If anybody does not understand that and you are preaching Bible, I don't understand that. What I understand, I don't care what you have to say, Budedele. Whether it is negative or whatever, I do not care. What was for me, that was how I was able to get myself. So it is. So if the man does not want his woman to get to that level, do not put her in a situation that she will be at that level. When you have your own child, Ibude, let her drink herself to a state of stupor. Let her kill herself. Let her read Bible from today till tomorrow. Let her kick her around. You all go and pray. Go to the mountain. Go to winners. That is your own. This is my own. Proudly, I have spoken to the world. I feel nothing. I don't feel any negativity. I have explained to men and made them to understand that this thing can happen if they let it happen. I hope I have touched lives today. I hope I have touched the men especially. I hope you can. I hope you can. You see, if you pull your wife back, and you say honestly, I know a few men that they have even caught the wives in not even my kind of situation. It's straight agbiri, and they were able to work it together, and they came together, and they are fine, and they are good. I respect such men, and I always say to such women, don't be caught again. And I say to such men, don't let your wife do it again. Don't let your wife. Thank you, Doisola. Don't let your wife do it again. It was just a case of. You see, maybe if it had been a man that just wanted to sleep with me, maybe I wouldn't do it. Maybe I wouldn't feel attached. These were people that I was emotionally connected to. Thank you, Adegbite. I was emotional. That's the point I'm making. The vacuum was there. He did not connect with me emotionally. Like when I take his key and leave the house at 12 midnight or come home at whatever time, I will still leave 6 days and so on. And you were telling me again, yes, I'm in an affair, you can do whatever. Are you the man? In fact, his family will tell him, is he the one that will dictate to you? You know? We got to that point, and that wasn't what I could deal with. So in my not being able to deal with it, that was my own. Some people are able to, some people may be able to read Bible and pray. That I cannot do that though. I pray that that's not me. You can't be enjoying and be telling me. My own understanding is that, but God, you saw him now. Why did you let him do it? Why did you let that happen? May God save all of your homes. Is there any home that is big? I don't want the men to think that, okay, the wife did it, they want to make noise. No, don't make your wife do it, is what I am preaching. Don't make your wife do it, is what I am preaching. Don't put yourself in the situation and the position that your wife would do it. Or your wife in the situation that she would do it, she would not do it. Do not ever think that your father had 6 wives. Don't say it. Go and ask all the 6 wives. They are lying. Don't put your woman in the situation that she would do it. God bless you all. This has been a very long one. We've done like 1 hour 20 minutes there, or 25 minutes thereabout. For all who have been with me today, so I appreciate you. Please share this video. Let us share it as to many places as we can, so that whoever can benefit off of it will benefit from it. I am speaking to the men in strong terms today. I'm letting them know that it is easy for them to push a wife, even with them knowing, because they think that, so what? If you have the kind of wife that I have, very emotional, very only about love, you will be making a big mistake. Some of us live on love. We live on emotions. We live on the man just being all over us and everything. So whoever would learn from this, you please learn. God bless you all. Thank you so very much. I'm happy to be here. I thank God for my life, because I'm a blessed woman. I'm a strong woman. I've been through it. I'm back. I'm teaching people to share and learn off my experience. And I'm hoping and praying that this would mend homes today. Because some men who have been like far or whatever from their wives will say, okay, and then they pull themselves back home. That's what I am preaching. That is what this is about. God bless you. I have to run off. I am running off. I'll be back on Sunday, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. I'm on YouTube as D is Real. D-E-I-L. Straight up look up Joinsola Ilori. This is going on YouTube shortly. And I hope that people will benefit from off of it. God bless you, everybody. I have to run in Nigeria. Please share this message, and hopefully the men that I am speaking to today will get the message. God bless you all. See you next week, and bye-bye.